Pilate says, I have nothing to do with killing an innocent man.
Very good.
If that is true.
Yeah, he has nothing to do with it. Yeah.
That's fine. Then why is it the very same man, by authorities, was numbered, the authorities of the court, was handed over to Roman soldiers to execute him? Now, I'm only asking a question. The judge, the authority, the Roman authority said, I have nothing to do with killing an innocent man. But in result, they hand over Jesus as an innocent man to be killed.
Yeah, because this happened often. In order to ease the tumult of the crowd, there were times when the judges had to do what the mobs were doing, because a revolt is the worst thing that could happen. Pilate does not care about what happens to Jesus. So he of himself said, I don't find anything wrong with this guy. I'm washing my hands of it. But I'm going to give him over to you. And under Roman rule, you can use that Roman rule.
Who's the you?
The Jews. You can
Pilate
execute him.
didn't want to make any judgment on Jesus. He take Jesus and hand him over to the Jews.
For the sake of his wife's dream.
I'm trying to follow this story step by step.
For the
I'm not
sake
arguing.
I know.
Right, good.
For the sake of his wife's dream. Remember, the wife had the dream,
Right,
and she said,
absorbed.
"Don't."
Right, I get that back.
So
But
she's
he
telling
handed-
her husband,
he handed
"Don't do
over
this."
Jesus to who?
The
Jews or to the Roman soldiers?
Both. It's the same.
Okay.
It's the same.
No, you're being. No, you guys are being. No, you're being.
No. The whole execution is a process. First is flogging and scourging and all of that,
And then crucifixion.
Right, then it's the crucifixion.
Yes.
So it's part. The whole punishment is part and parcel of one thing.
No, but I'm following the narrative.
No.
I'm trying to imagine the narrative.
Okay, let me give you the narrative. You now really listen. The Jews are not in power. They cannot kill anyone of their own right.
Thank you very much.
Right?
Thank you.
They can only do it with the authority of Rome.
Thank you.
Right? The Romans are the only ones who have the facilities to kill and execute.
Thank you.
Right? They are the only ones.
Yeah, thank you.
So Pontius Pilate now can see that these people are forming a mob. It says in the text, a tumult. These guys are ready to revolt because they want this man dead. Now Pontius Pilate, it's no skin off his teeth. He doesn't care. He's heard what his wife has said, and he's like, listen, I see no fault with this guy. I see no fault with him personally. But he is also the proconsul. He's also in charge. And he can see the people are going to revolt. So he needs to make sure that these people do not revolt to his Roman soldiers. Okay, if I am the guy who's in charge of the Roman soldiers, and they're the ones who facilitate death in this place, and they want this man to die, okay, this desire is not my desire. It's on you. Which is why he says his blood is on you, because this is what you want. All right? And so that is why he hands them over.
To who?
He hands them.
To who?
He hands them.
Or to Roman?
He hands over the fate of Jesus to the Jews.
So the Jews again.
And the Romans are the ones who carry out and who facilitate it, because they are the ones in charge. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. That's not complicated.
Show me that.
He read it out.
That's not complicated.
It's not there. Now,
He read it out.
Even Jesus.
Read it out. Literally.
Jesus was on the
This is not a complicated concept. I think you understand now.
Yeah, no, I'm coming.
I think you understand
No
now.
problem.
I want to understand.
We cannot.
Do you understand or
I
not?
want to understand.
What is missing?
No, what I'm trying to say.
Now we repeat this one. That's why Jesus.
No. I want you to Abdullah.
They make everything in darkness.
No, Abdullah. What for? I account I
you never
gave.
recognize him.
I
Abdullah,
understand what you're saying.
Do you understand?
I understand what you're saying. Understand what the gentleman is saying. And I'm trying to follow through the conversation.
So where are you now then?
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm following the conversation. Both sides. I'm following. So the question is, So I'm following. I'm with the conversation. I'm following.
Okay, so maybe
I'm
can
not
you
challenging.
tell me his position?
Right. It appears to be. Now I cannot articulate his position clearly because I wasn't listening attentively.
It's hard
But
for
appears,
me to.
It appears to
Brother, my camera is there. You're covering. Because Christians are losing, and then you are covering my camera. He was there like this on top of my
Sorry.
It
camera.
appears to me
Next time I will take your
he's making
picture.
an inquiry
I have here to
of
show
some
you.
kind of discrepancy between the narrative of who takes responsibility for the death of Jesus. Now, if Pontius Pilate, who is the judge and the authority, is saying, I don't want to have anything to do with killing an innocent man, because by a dream or extension, killing innocent men has consequences. If that is the story, say, I don't want to have anything to do with it. The question is, if I don't want to have anything to do with it as the authority, can the opposite happen under my authority? That's the question. You were saying...
You didn't finish the verse.
No, we get it here.
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Because you're missing. That's the part you're missing. No, but that's the part you're missing. That is the part you're missing. So when you're...
Let him finish.
I feel like I should add the verse, then you can understand.
No, let
Let him finish.
Because you gave a false account of what Pontius Pilate said.
Yeah, we know he's...
According to you, nobody
I didn't give a
understands.
false account.
Okay,
No,
you
okay, so
finish
not
and then
false
we'll show
account,
you.
an incomplete account.
I didn't. That's because I didn't finish.
You didn't
No.
let him
I
finish.
am trying
Okay.
to convey
All
back
right.
to you
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I understand the
Yeah,
story
yeah.
to
So
be.
continue.
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to walk. I want you to walk with me, and
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
walking
yeah.
with each other.
That's
So
fine.
if I miss a point, you're gonna fill me in. If I get something wrong, I'm not trying to falsify your argument.
Yeah.
We have a narrative, a story,
Yeah.
and the story is that Pontius Pilate is the authority, the governor for all capital punishment. And he's saying, I don't want to kill an innocent man. I wash my hands.
Can I rephrase?
Right, go on.
Okay. So historically speaking, he has authority under Roman rule. Okay, but he's proconsul. His main mission, his goal under Caesar, is to maintain order and peace.
Exactly,
They
governance.
live under Pax Romana. Okay, that
We get that part. We
Okay.
get that part.
So what I'm saying is there's
I get that part.
there's a delineation between him judging a matter, okay, under Roman authority, and him judging a matter because he has a personal inclination or disinclination towards it.
Let's look at his statement.
Right.
Am I getting it wrong? If I was to say back to you, Pontius Pilate's position as the authority in Rome is saying, I don't want to have anything to do with killing an innocent man. Am I wrong in saying that?
He does not want to do that.
So, which means you don't want to say I'm right.
No, it's
no,
partial.
no,
You're partial.
Okay,
Sorry?
You're partially complete.
No. That's why we're going slow by slow, step by step. I'm simply saying it appears to me, based on the conversation, Pontius Pilate is the authority representing Rome. A death penalty has to be issued, and he's saying, I wash my hands, I want to have nothing to do with killing an innocent man. Shall we move on?
No, I think, well, we're not necessarily move on. We're going to stay with this because you've missed part of, like I said, partially. We need to look at everything that Pontius Pilate said. No, we need to look at everything that Pontius Pilate said, right?
He doesn't care that
Right?
much. Look,
No, I'm
this
not.
way
No,
he
I'm
cares.
looking at everything.
Yes. Where you
So when Pontius, we'll read it. This is Matthew 27 verse 20. Matthew chapter 24, 27 verse 24. When Pilate saw that he could not prevail at all, but rather that a tumult was rising. Remember, he said the proconsul needs to keep the peace. These people are starting to riot. He took water and washed his hand before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. You see to it. He's talking to the people. So he's saying, me, of my own mind, I don't see anything wrong with him. You guys want what you want, okay. And what did the people say in response? And the people answered and said, his blood be on us and on our children. So for the sake of keeping the peace, not because he's judging the man, he is allowing Jesus to go through the Roman process of crucifixion for the sake of the people. So yes, the Romans facilitated the crucifixion, but it's the Jews who desired him to be killed. That is what we get from this text, because the people say his blood is on us and our children. The Romans are just following the proconsuls, the facilitation of how you do crucifixion. It is not them who want to crucify Jesus. They will crucify any Tom, Dick, and Harry as long as he's going through the process. Pontius Pilate is handing him over to the people, the people's desire. So go on.
So the last dimension to add on this is not attributing a level of morality to Pilate. One, he was a pagan. Two, his god was Caesar. Kaiser Caesar was literally God. Okay, so it's Caesar's rule. Rule was under Pax Romana, maintain peace at all costs. Pilate was only instilled because the previous Herod was losing his trust under Rome. So he got kicked out, killed. Then Pilate is sent there to now govern the land. Okay, under that situation, all Pilate mainly cares about
Is peace.
is peace. That is the highest justice for him, not in executing or withdrawing executing.
But here was my issue. I'm simply saying this. He was arguing from a Quranic point of view that it's not a unanimous identity but there is a conflict of two different identities there. So if the Quranic narrative, if it is, that you are claiming, the Quran claims two identities. One is the real Jesus and one that might appear to be of him.
No, not might. That's that. No. So okay, go on. Sorry, go on.
And I'm simply saying, if his argument is arguing there are two identities in dispute or in present. Now, and then he goes to your.
Sorry, just clarification. Two identities in dispute in the Quran or the Bible?
Both.
That's what
Okay.
You're allowed to dispute.
Yeah.
But I'm simply saying, I came into the conversation last, and I'm trying to follow the conversation impartially. Right. So if Denis is saying, the Quran says Jesus did not die, but then it makes inference of another identity, another entity. Talking about two now. Right. So Denis is saying this is not unique or unprecedented, because if you go back to your scriptures, you will see there's an account given where two Jesus was brought together. One was put to the cross and the other one was not there. So I think he was trying to say both scriptures bring into the equation two different identities. I thought that's where we're going, but I also feel it gets sidetracked with some other stuff.
Yeah.
And I think we can really smooth now that.
Sure.
Okay.
So if he's trying to do that, then he needs to be allowed to stick to that point, not to go nowhere else.
Sure.
Stick to that point. So now I think this is more cordial. So I'm trying to say, I understand what you're saying. It's a very good point. It's very clear how you roll it out, how you give the background and you roll it out. Now it's for Denis to come and say, the Quran is not unique from this, because even in your account, there were two identities in question for execution.
Right, but you'd have to then add. You'd have to then add. No, I understand what you're saying, but you'd have to add the notion that the identities mentioned in the Bible were ambiguous. But the text shows that it was not ambiguous. People knew who that Jesus Christ was, and people knew who Jesus Barabbas was. Those identities.
People, they know Jesus.
They knew who Jesus Christ was.
Your Jesus.
Okay, no. So here's no, Abdullah.
Even to prove that in your Bible,
oh my
they
gosh.
don't know your Jesus.
Oh, Dennis, man, just
have to go.
Oh, come
and
on,
give
man.
the Jesus
Dennis,
to them.
come on, man.
Yes.
Dennis, man. Listen,
They
we
don't
went
know.
through this.
My
The
brother,
reason.
You told him to
nobody
stick to
knows
the
Jesus
point.
on that
He's not
time.
sticking to the point.
Okay,
Listen, the reason why we even got to Jesus Barabbas and we're in Matthew is because we're going to the point of that in Surah 4157. It says it was made to appear as so. We had the gentleman here talking about he could translate Arabic, then he's saying he thinks it says this, or this is how he. Well, he didn't translate it. He said he wouldn't translate
First of all,
it.
in honesty,
Now,
let's be honest.
the
I'm
honesty
simply
was
saying,
that he
you
didn't.
question him, not
and he
being
didn't translate it.
You question him that he is not Arab speaking. He said, yes, I read.
And that
this
Arab speaker
in
didn't translate it.
I read this in my language. Now let's get a native Arab. He invited a native speaker of Arabic language to let him read the verse and explain what he got
Yeah,
from what he read.
and remember,
he did
Abdullah,
that.
I said on camera,
Why
I
don't you
don't
need
care
that guy
about
again?
explanation.
We
I
are
said
going- why
translation.
don't you need that guy again?
Because you don't listen, and we need to go to the back and get to the front.
No,
Get to the
you
front.
Don't bring me there. You tell me I was
listen.
wrong. Don't follow me.
Now listen,
You tell me I was wrong.
Abdul, you
You
listening?
already said
Are you
Alright,
listening?
let's go.
Leave that guy out.
Are you listening?
Yes. Yeah, leave that guy out. Yeah,
Alright,
leave that guy.
The point of this.
So we're looking at multiple identities here.
No, we're not looking at multiple
Of course
identities
there is.
here. The issue that we were
It's not
looking.
one
No,
identity,
Abdullah.
it's two.
Abdullah. The issue that we were looking at was that someone was made to appear as so who wasn't it wasn't multiple identity.
It's two.
In the Tasfir, it said that Jesus' image was cast onto somebody. This person, it wasn't two Jesuses, it wasn't two looking Jesuses, it was one, it was an identity or an image that was cast onto someone else.
It's the same thing he
Hold
said.
on.
It's the same thing he
Hold
said.
on. I didn't listen, I let you roll. I did let you roll. That was made to appear as so, to explain 4157. He brought up Jesus Barabbas and Jesus the Christ. And he was trying to say that is the same explanation as 4157. We said no, because according to our account, which is trying to use and justify his belief, he is trying to say that, oh, that's actually the one that made to appear as so. No, in the gospel, we know that they crucified Jesus the Christ. We read, this is why we've had to read through this account, because it says Pontius Pilate releases Barabbas and he hands over Jesus to be crucified. In the Quran, it's different. It says that it was made for someone to appear as so. That is the point. It's not two different identities. We are having someone to be looked to be made to appear as so. Jesus, exactly. So with that, we were asking who made it to appear as so. That is where this whole thing started.
Now, can I speak? Can I speak? So now that means Pilate will go.
Why is he talking about Pilate? You see this?
Of course.
You see this?
I'm not finished. He's the judge.
You'll never finish.
That is the topic we are talking.
No, that's not.
That
is not what.
27 verse 10 going down.
No, please don't lie. Don't lie. We got to Matthew 27. Where did we start?
From verse 10.
Where did we start?
From verse 10.
Oh, Dennis, this is done. No, we're done. We're done. No, we're done. We're done. No, we're done. No, we're done. Because he's lying. He's lying. I just explained to you how from the beginning of this topic, and he went and said, I went to Pilate and said, that's what we're talking about. We brought up Pilate.
Matthew 27:10.
This is ridiculous.
You want to say he was appear so to leave Matthew now to go to Quran. That's why you feel upset.
No, excuse me. We started at the Quran.
Yes, and then how long now?
You brought up Matthew.
Yeah.
We did not start at the Quran. Answer the question. Answer the question.
Why?
Answer the question.
Matthew is not clear. But he's happy for you to speak of Matthew, not me.
The reason why he's going to Matthew is because the Quran is not clear. It's as simple as that. That's why he's going to Matthew. Because he thinks there's ambiguity in Matthew. We read through Matthew and we see it's completely clear. Now we're trying to go back to the Quran. He doesn't want to go there. He's trying to act like we didn't talk about the Quran. Why do Muslims never like talking about the Quran?
You will look for me everywhere. You will never find me.
I'm done, man.
Jesus said you will look for me everywhere. You will never find me. The Jewish people said this guy will kill himself. Yeah, and it's true. Jesus will kill himself. It's clear. They don't want to go.
That was just a shambles.
Yes, what happened there?
Guys, I have a headache.
It started with him calling me dishonest, me proving that he was the one being dishonest. How that unfolded was very simple. I was reading out a tafsir from Ibn Kathir. Just reading it out loud, all right, because to myself. And then he heard it at the corner of his ear, and he said, see, look, he's making my point. And then I read a line before what I recited, and then he said, oh, no, I don't believe that. And then immediately after, he said that I was being dishonest. Now, he mentioned no criteria as to how he judged one interpretation from another interpretation. Then he brought in other people to translate it into Arabic. Apparently Ibn Abbas and Ibn Kathir are not good Arabic speakers, and their opinions don't matter. A guy that comes in 1,400 years later knows better Quranic Arabic than Ibn Abbas and Ibn Kathir. But hey, that's his opinion.
I was just going to say, the tafsir that we're bringing up was the one, it was an explanation, for Surah 4157. And here's the expert or the part of it that we were reading out. Then the young man volunteered again, and Isa. Wait, hold on. One of the youngest ones among them volunteered, and Isa asked him to sit down. Isa asked for a volunteer, and the young man kept volunteering, and Isa asking him to sit down. Then the young man volunteered again, and Isa said, "You will be that man." And the resemblance of Isa was cast over that man, while Isa ascended to heaven from a hole in the house. So when they're explaining made to appear as so, the image of Isa was cast into someone else. This whole thing started with, who did this casting? Why is an image being cast into someone else? To us, this is deception, plain and simple. But he was not answering that question. Instead, he was now trying to bring up Jesus Barabbas. But when we look at the account in Matthew, it's very clear. We can see who Jesus Barabbas is and who Jesus the Christ is, and how Jesus Christ is still crucified.
So to make his point of the Quran, which is that people can be confused, he went to the Bible to show that there was ambiguity. People didn't quite know if it was Jesus the Christ or Jesus Barabbas. But when we look at the text, Pilate knew who Jesus Christ was, the people who wanted to kill Jesus Christ knew who Jesus Christ was, and they knew who Jesus Barabbas was. There was no ambiguity. They knew exactly who they wanted to kill and exactly who they wanted to let free.
I mean, isn't it amazing that there was confusion in Islam, and it comes to Christianity, and it completely makes sense.
Exactly.
Completely ordered. We got the accounts. We explained. I mean, you've seen the video. We explained exactly how Rome was working in that area with the proconsul and so on. We explained everything. So listen, apologies for when I was raising my voice. Dennis is. I mean, bro, Frank and Dennis in 2 days is insane. I can't do that. It's too much, man. It's too much. But pray for us, yeah.
Stand.